Stopping on by for a very quick update video here. I just got this email about this topic, and I haven't actually stopped on by at all to make any kind of video about this topic at all, but I figure since I just recently got this email with the final extras announced, it might only make sense to stop on by very briefly to make a video about it, about a film that I hold in relatively high regard. I did a review on Dr. Giggles years ago. It's actually one of my most viewed reviews on this channel, so if you haven't seen that, feel free to go check that out. But if you guys didn't know, we've got upcoming Blu-ray release from Scream Factory of Dr. Giggles, and I just got this email sharing these final extras for the upcoming release. Looks like it's going to be a new 2K scan from the interpositive and the correct theatrical aspect ratio of 2:3:9. As you guys may know, the Warner Brothers DVD, and I would imagine their Blu-ray, was featured at like the 1:8:5 aspect ratio, which I was actually fine with because Dr. Giggles is probably like that super kind of, I don't know if it's officially that super 35, but it's got that super 35 thing to it, like James Cameron used to use, where if it's one of those really wide images, but if you looked at the quote unquote pan and scan version, you'd see more on the top and bottoms, so you'd be cutting off less on the sides. So honestly, the 1:8:5 version actually worked fine for me as a result of that. Honestly, I'd probably prefer the 1:8:5 version to the 2:3:9, but I think 2:3:9 is how it was intended to be. So that's a cool little bit of info. I know a lot of people were hypothesizing and wondering about what the aspect ratio of this Blu-ray would be, and now we know it's the actual intended aspect ratio, which is cool. Just we've got the basic 1992 audio, 2-channel stereo DTS master audio, and then we've got a new feature here, Laughter is the Best Medicine, making Dr. Giggles, a new interview with director Manny Cotto, and a never before seen archival interview with actor Larry Drake. I want to say that Larry Drake may very well no longer be with us. If that's the case, it's nice that we have this never before seen archival interview with him. We've got another new feature here, Melodies of Madness, the film scores of Brian May, an interview with film music historian Randall D. Larson. I can only assume that Brian May is no longer with us, because why wouldn't they just interview Brian May himself? So if Brian May is still with us, it's kind of weird that they're interviewing someone else to talk about him, but one can only assume he's no longer with us. I don't know. Then we've got vintage featurette, theatrical trailers, VHS teasers, which is kind of interesting, TV spots as well. So as you can see on the bottom there, Dr. Giggles is out on Blu-ray March 21st, 2023. This is a title that, since I hold this movie in relatively high regard, I'll end up picking up at some point when it hopefully comes down in price. I'm not too keen on being extorted, well, not really extorted, but drug over the coals, or whatever the hell the phrasing is, taken to the cleaners. There's a good phrase for some of these more recent boutique titles. They're really charging whatchamacallit, for for these titles. So I'll probably end up with this Blu-ray at some point when maybe it's closer to $20 or less, hopefully, or something like that. I would imagine this would be upwards of $30 when this comes out or whatever, so I can definitely wait until it comes down in price. But I figured, since I just got this email featuring the final extras for the upcoming Blu-ray release of Dr. Giggles from Scream Factory, I thought it only made sense to stop by very briefly and do a video about this. Maybe some of you guys didn't even know this was happening, but so often is the case, there's so much to talk about, so much news. I'm not going to be able to, or even want to, cover all of it, but since I just got this email and this is a fun movie, I figured stop on by for a brief video talking about it. So as always, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks a lot for watching, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one. Hee 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 hee.